I'm out of breath. Okay, this one's dirty as well. Should we clean it? Let's not be a dirtbag. Hair from the thermal. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be doing my very last Best in Beauty of 2021. If you haven't heard about Best in Beauty, or if you haven't been following along my series, it is a yearly series that I do and many other YouTubers do, where we just talk about the best of the best finds in the beauty world, the best makeup, the best skincare, the best hair care, everything, the best of the best. So you're getting like top-notch recommendations. I have been absolutely loving these videos. I have already done face, cheeks, lips, and eyes. And today we're going to be doing kind of a more like odds and ends, miscellaneous type video. We're going to be doing a little bit of skincare, a little bit of hair care, and a little bit of tools, brushes that I've really loved, and some other tools. So if you're interested in finding out my favorites of all those categories, then keep on watching. So let's start with tools. So the first product I'm going to be talking about is a foundation brush, and you probably have heard of it. It isn't new by any means, but it's one that I've really fallen in love with this year. If you don't know me, if you've never watched my channel, or if you've never heard me say this, I actually haven't been the biggest fan of applying foundation with brushes. I've been more of a sponge girl, and I still am a huge sponge girl, but I really have ventured out, experimented a little bit more this year, and it's been really fun because I found some really incredible techniques and products, and this is one of them. So this is the Artiste brush. This is the famous foundation brush. It really is the best of the best. You can't beat it. I have yet to find something that is as seamless and blendable and quick and easy and smooth. So this is the Elite Oval 7. Such an incredibly soft brush. It feels like silk on your skin. It blends in your products incredibly. It really delivers good coverage because it's not soaking up any of the product, and it's very quick, you know, just swipe. You can do little circular motions to help blend in. I personally still like to go in with my sponge afterwards. That's just my technique, but this brush is one of the only brushes that I will use because everything else just I find leaves streaks. Sometimes I almost find brushes to make the foundation look not as flawless and almost dry sometimes for some reason. Like I find the sponge with the moisture helps apply a really seamless application, but this is just as seamless and it's so easy to use. The only thing I will say is this right here, the neck of the brush is not as sturdy as you would want it to be. So I recommend when you're applying pressure on the brush, put your finger behind on the back and then go like that so it's not pushing too hard, because I know I've heard a lot of people have snapped theirs and it is worth a pretty penny, so you would not want to break it. The next brush is also actually a foundation brush, but I use it for many different things, and it is by Merit, which I actually tested the brand for the first time, really fell in love with a lot of their products. Their complexion stick is a really beautiful product as it is super easy, lightweight, and it's just like a foundation stick, really. And I find that this brush works like magic with that formula. So I started using it with other foundations, and I do like it with other foundations, but I specifically love this brush for stick foundations. So all of the stick foundations that I use in my collection, this is my go-to brush. I just find it buffs them out really easily. I find sometimes stick foundations can stick to the skin and not like blend out as easily as liquid, but this just buffs it in so quickly, so seamlessly. It's like a dream. It really is for those that are like in a rush, don't have a lot of time to do your makeup. It makes life so easy. I also do like to use it to apply or blend out cream contour. You can apply cream blush with it because it's a nice dense like buffing blending brush. So I really, really love this brush as well. And also the bristles are so extremely soft on this too. So they are really, really nice on the face. This one I actually just used today and I have not cleaned it yet. But this is the Patrick Ta for contour brush. This is the best contour brush I've ever used. It just fits perfectly in there. It blends everything out seamlessly. As I said, it fits nicely in areas. It's nice and skinny, so you can get in there, but it's not super small, so you still can blend out larger areas. Not only is it pretty, but it also is just really, really seamless. Then we have a brush that I really love to use for highlighting, and that is the Scott Barnes 66. So this is the sheer powder brush, I believe it's called. When I originally had tested this, it did say, you know, Scott Barnes like to use it for powder, and I thought, like, I like brush, if I'm gonna use a brush for powder, I like it to be more round and I can kind of swirl it. So this one wasn't my favorite, although I do really like it if it's clean. I like to use it underneath the eye to like dust off bake. It's like a perfect shape for right there. And it's very, like it's kind of denser right here, but then it gets nice and loose here. So it's not super, super heavy and dense. Like it's going to apply a little bit more sheer, exactly how it's described. But the reason I like it for highlight is, number one, I used it today. It applies the most beautiful application. Again, not too concentrated, but just the right amount, and it almost blends out as you're applying. But I like just the way that it sits. Like it kind of sits and covers exactly where I want to highlight. So I just go like that and I'm done. And then I can kind of bring it up here a little bit. So it's really nice and easy. It's just my favorite. It's the way that it sits. It's perfect. And then it's really light and seamless again. So love this one as well. So the next brush I really like is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill. This is part of her what is the kit called? I'll write it down below if I figure it out, but it is the JH13 that I really like specifically. So this brush is called the Powder Player Brush. Basically, long story short, what I really like this for is that, number one, it is a multi-use brush. I like brushes that aren't specifically for foundation or specifically that I like for blush. Like this one is nice and tapered on the end, so it's small enough to fit in there to do contour, like if I'm using a powder contour. It is also large enough that I can kind of fluff on some bronzer. I can apply blush, like it's a perfect size for my cheeks. And you honestly could even get away with applying some highlight because it has that nice tapered tip. So it's a perfect cheek brush in my opinion. If you are a minimalist, you want to just have a couple brushes that kind of can do it all. And this is one of them. I really, really enjoy this. It just does a lot for me and it does it beautifully. It blends it out really nicely. So just quick mention, because these are well, especially the one is one that everybody knows and loves, but I still wanted to mention it because I've never really done this category for Best in Beauty. So I did want to mention sponges. My favorite is the Beauty Blender. It's the best of the best. It applies airbrush flawless. It's nice and squishy, like it's not like a rock. Some of the sponges you can get are really hard no matter how wet you get them. It has a nice tip to it so you can fit it in small places. But if you are looking for something that is as good as the Beauty Blender but a little bit more affordable, then I will recommend the Real Technique sponge. So this one again has a nice tip. It's also a little bit different because it has this flat piece right here. So I like to actually apply foundation because it's nice and flat, so it covers a lot of area. You can also use this edge here to do lines for powder. You can also use the tip. It's like a multi-use sponge. It works just as good as the Beauty Blender in my opinion. Once you wet it, it is just as soft. So these both have that nice feel to them. Really, really love both these sponges. I think they're just as good as one another. So if you're looking for something cheaper, go with the Real Techniques. Last tool that I really, really have been loving, and I actually just discovered like in the last month or two, but it's so good that I had to mention it today. It's this little tool here. So this is a crease kind of creator. So this is something that you would put down on your lid, and there's not only this form, there's all different kinds of forms and shapes. This one's my favorite, and this is actually the only one I've used. So I think what I'm gonna do is, I want to mention it today because I really, really love it and think it's super convenient to have, especially if you're a beginner, but I actually want to do a demo with it. So stay tuned. I'm going to do a demo with all of the mold, like I'm calling them molds, but all of the shapes And then that way we can kind of see what each of them does, and I can show you tips and tricks on how to use them. There's right and left for each one, which is kind of crucial. This one's dirty because I used it today, but you will see they're the same shape, but they're different for right and left, like going on each side, right? So you want them to match perfectly. And the reason I love this is it does help make application a little bit quicker if you're in a rush, but you still kind of want a glam look like I was actually today. I just popped this on. You go quick, 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 back and forth with a brush. Now I don't have an eyeshadow brush, but let's just say this was my eyeshadow brush. Go like this, you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You don't have to worry about getting it perfectly in there. You just go back and forth and you will see it's like a perfect crease. Once you do it on both sides, they're matching, they're even. Obviously, if you're placing it evenly, and it just makes things a little bit quicker. And I think it would be great for beginners that struggle with creating that crease, or if you have hooded eyes like me. Now, I don't have majorly hooded eyes, but I am only 24 and I do already have kind of hooded eyes. And so it's nice to have this because you can place it like perfectly where you want your crease, even a little higher, so that your crease really shows and doesn't get hidden by your hooded eyes. I just really find it convenient, easy to use. It makes my life a little easier, especially if I'm going for those like really simple, easy, quick days. And I think you guys would love it. I really do. It's a really cool tool to have, and I'm excited to do a demo on this because I haven't tried all of the shapes. And I also just want to show you guys how to use it and why I love it so much. So now moving on to skincare, I only have 2 products in this category because I just find skincare such an individual like experience. Some products might work on me, but they might not work on you. I have a hard time like finding products that are so good I want to like shout it off the rooftops and tell all of you guys go buy this. But these 2 I've had incredible experience with that I really think you guys will love. Again, skincare is so individual, and products that maybe are incredible and work on me might still not work on you. So just keep that in mind if you're going to purchase this. So the first one I've mentioned before, and I found at the beginning of this year, it's the Biossance Squalene Tea Tree Balancing Oil. This is my 3rd repurchase, but I find it lasts me, especially if I don't use it twice. Like I started using it twice a day and I found I really liked that. I sometimes only use it once a day because it depends on like if my skin is oily. I also don't always use this if I'm going to apply makeup. It's more of an evening product, I find. It's like an oil and a treatment, but I do also use it in the daytime if I'm not going to be applying makeup. Basically helps to visibly clear and calm skin. So if you have acne, it has tea tree oil in it, so that helps clear up pores. It's an antibacterial product, like ingredient, so it helps clear out the skin, keep the skin decongested and clear, but it also helps calm the skin and hydrate. So if you have oily, acne-prone skin, you still need to hydrate, which is something that I find a lot of people don't realize and don't understand. Sometimes not properly hydrating your skin can cause more acne. So when your skin is dry, your skin's like dehydrated, it needs moisture. It's going to produce more oil, which is then going to clog your pores more. So if you're hydrating properly, your skin is going to produce less oil and then in turn be a little less congested. And I find this does hydrate in a really nice, light way. The Squalene is a beautiful product as it hydrates just perfectly enough. I really, really love this. I'm already halfway out of, or actually 3/4. So I almost am in need to purchase again. I'll probably have to purchase it in a month or 2, but it goes a long way. Like I find it lasts me about 6 months. I buy it usually twice a year. So it's expensive, but when you only have to buy it that many times, it's really not that bad. I just find my skin feels and looks clearer. Now, there have been really bad, like I've gone through a bit of a weird time with my skin. So there's been some times where I'm breaking out really badly, but when I use this, it doesn't make it worse. If anything, it makes it better and calms the breakouts. It's not going to completely stop you from breaking out, and I think a lot of mine was hormonal. So you really can't stop hormonal breakouts, but this I find helps kind of keep things under control. The next product is from Good Molecules, which is a brand that is very similar to like The Ordinary and the Inky List. So it's very affordable, which I love about skincare. I love when I find skincare that's affordable because like when I find products like this, I'm like, it's so worth it, but it's so much money. So this is really great, but this is the Discoloration Correcting Serum. So it has some really great ingredients and it's supposed to target discoloration and then promote a more even tone. I've been using it for about a month and a half to 2 months now, and I've noticed significant difference. Now I obviously have makeup on, but my skin has been so red. I've been breaking out badly, and it's been so inflamed. When the breakouts heal, it leaves scars. Sometimes I don't even really have that many breakouts, but it looks like my face is covered in breakouts because it's all scarring. So since I've been using this, I've noticed my skin looks so much more even, less scarring, you know, they're much more faded, and I've really just been feeling so much better about my skin. So I really recommend this if you have acne scarring or uneven skin tone. I right now use it once a night, and then what it recommends is apply before any other serums and moisturizers. So if you want to cleanse, tone, and then you apply this right away so that it's the first thing, and then you let it fully absorb. So you want to make sure it's fully, you know, soaked in, and not, it might feel a little tacky still. It's really, really good, really good. So last category is hair care. So the first thing I thought I would share is my favorite brush, which we all know and love, but I just had to because it's literally the only brush I can use on my hair because my hair is very wavy, but it gets kind of frizzy and it gets tatted really easily. So this wet brush, which I need a new one, but this one is literally a lifesaver. I can't use any other brushes. I find it's just super gentle on my hair, especially if you're brushing your wet hair, which I find to be even harder to brush than dry hair. I just find it helps if you have curly hair, tatty hair. It doesn't pull out your hair as much, I find. It's so gentle, yet it still gets your hair nice and brushed out and detangled. So I really recommend trying it out if you haven't already because it's definitely worth the hype. This product is a heat protectant, and it's from Pantene. So #1, drugstore, love to see it. It is the Pro V line, which I find their like Pro V line to be a little bit kind of more high-end quality. Not everything, obviously, but this one I just really have been enjoying. It's a nice mist. It has a nice scent to it. It's lightweight, and it's supposed to help protect your hair up to 450 degrees. So I think if you're looking for something to protect your hair that is a little more affordable, then go for the Pantene. It also has a pre-styling spray that helps seal and protect your hair from the thermal heat. And then it also has micropolymers to help shield the strands from damage and enhance healthy shine. I just have had really good experience from it. The last product is from Redken. My mom actually got me for this a couple months ago, and I've been using it after my shower. It's like a leave-in treatment, and it has honestly made my hair really soft and quite a bit less frizzy. So this one is called the Acidic Perfecting Concentrate. So as I said, it's a leave-in treatment. It's supposed to intensely condition, so it's like a leave-in conditioner, but it also has a heat protectant in it, and it also is a styling aid. So it helps, you know, if you're gonna blow dry your hair, or if you're gonna curl your hair, it's gonna help with styling. So I really, really like this one. I find as I said, my hair feels softer, smoother, looks less like frizzy on the ends. And I just have had a really good experience. And I think you guys, it's worth a shot for sure. It also goes a long way. Like, you don't need a lot. And I only wash my hair twice a week. So it's gonna last me a really long time. So that is it, guys. That's my end of Best in Beauty. I hope you guys have been enjoying these videos. I hope you guys found some recommendations that are helpful, and I hope you guys love these products just as much as I do. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up down below, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.